Hey there, Back to the Future fans. It's your bro, Richie Rich here. Wanted to say that for a long time. Anyways, welcome back to another video. Today in this video, I'm back with another Back to the Future explanation video for all for cars. And today, I'll be talking to you about the same car that I talked about a couple weeks ago, something like that. I can't remember. Today in this video, I'll be talking to you all about one of the greatest classic cars, which is the 1946 Ford Super Deluxe convertible. Now, I did do this before, and I talked about a bit of it from the movie, but this is going to be like the full story about this car. So before I start, make sure you all like the video, subscribe, comment below what you'll think, hit the notification bell and hit all so you don't make for any uploads. So, without any further ado, let's begin. So the 1946 Ford Super Deluxe convertible from Back to the Future Part 1, 1985, and Part 2, 1989. Here we go. So, the Super Deluxe, so the 46 Super Deluxe convertible was a model of vehicle manufactured by Ford during the 1940s. Now we got the history. So this is related to both Back to the Future Part 1, 1985, and Part 2, 1989. So, Biff Tannen, played by Thomas F. Wilson, Thomas Francis Wilson Jr. I knew it was Francis, but I just had to make sure. So, Biff Tannen, played by Thomas Francis Wilson, Biff Tannen, played by Thomas Francis Wilson Jr., owned a 1946 model during like the little bit over the mid 40s. 1946 model. So 1946 model. In 1955. So during the mid 1950s. Which was a convertible painted black with a red interior, and had the nickname Sheila. Its license plate number was 6H96472, which I don't talk about number plates in my videos because it's not really necessary, but I don't know. Anyways, Biff was the only person who knew the trick to starting the ignition, a push button on a dashboard. Because all 1940s cars used to have that. So yeah, a push button on the dashboard, and he explained to Terry. So Terry played by Charles Fleischer. Yeah, I can't pronounce his last name correctly, but it's spelled F-L-E-I, so F-L-E-I, S-C-H-E-R. born August 27th, 1950, in Washington D.C., who he portrayed both young and old versions of Terry, the owner of the Western Auto in 1955, and later seen outside, 60 or so years later, outside the courthouse in 2015. Interesting. Alright. Anyways, moving on still. So Biff was the only person who knew the trick to starting the ignition, a push button on the dash. And he explained to Terry at Western Auto, who had been unable to start the car whilst working on it and wondered if it was fitted with a kill switch. And it's called, "You're just gonna have the right touch. Nobody can start this car but me." Biff to Terry regarding the trick. This is a quote from Biff to Terry regarding the trick to start his car. Biff still remembered the technique in his old age, much to the amazement of his younger self, who demanded to know how this old codger with a cane knew how to do this. After being provoked by Marty McFly, um, played by Michael J. Fox, in Luxe Cafe on November 8th, 1955, 4 days before the lightning struck the clock tower. Before lightning struck the clock tower at 10:04 p.m., sending the necessary 1.21 gigawatts into the time machine, which sent future Marty, back in time to 1985. Again. So yeah, after being provoked by Marty in Lou's Cafe on November 8th, 1955, Biff and his boys, or gang, chased him in the Ford around Courthouse Square, being slammed or crashed into a manure truck. By November 12th, Biff had the car repaired. In order to repair the damage to his car, Biff was pressured by Terry to pay $302.57 for the job, but refused payment as he argued with Terry. Both Marty and Biff's older self jumped into the Ford, with Marty hiding in the back seat. Old Biff drove the Ford back to his house. No, I meant over a bush, technically. Say over a bush. Like the quote that young Biff was saying, it was just hilarious. Complaining about his car and nothing else, honestly. Just drove the Ford back to his house and parked it in his garage before displaying the Gray Sports Almanac, which he brought from the future. Old Biff, not young Biff, obviously. It was a Gray Sports Almanac, sports statistics, 50 years of sports statistics from 1950 to 2000. It's a Gray Sports Almanac. Later that night, Marty snuck away. In the back seat again, as Biff drove to the enchantment under the sea dance at Hill Valley High School. Biff parked the car outside the door of the gymnasium and drove it. So Biff parked the car outside the door of the gymnasium. Yeah. Biff parked the car outside the door of the gymnasium and drove off in it after discovering that Marty had been after the almanac. Biff drove the Ford towards River Road Tunnel on the way home. before Marty swooped in using the hoverboard. That was all before Biff pinned him to the ground and took the almanac away. So Biff drove the Ford towards RRT River Road Tunnel on the way home before Marty just swooped in using the hoverboard. Both Biff and Marty fought over the almanac outside and in the tunnel, with Biff sideswiping the wall of the tunnel uh, with the right side of the Ford. He was trying to kill Marty, but Marty dodged it, thankfully. So, with Biff sideswiping the wall of the tunnel with the right hand side of the Ford, when Biff reached the end of the tunnel, he turned completely around 180 degrees. Um, he turned completely around 180 degrees and faced Marty. So, and faced Marty. Um, where is it? So, and faced Marty, who was still halfway. And faced Marty, who was still halfway inside. Biff charged Biff charged the car towards Marty, in the hopes of running him over, but failed when Marty uh, grabbed a string of pennants, which Doc, played by Christopher Lloyd, laid down on the ground, attached to the DeLorean time machine. Zampa failed when Marty grabbed a string of pennants, attached to the DeLorean time machine, which I talked about yesterday. So as Biff watched both Marty and the DeLorean just hover away into the night, he crashed the Ford into a manure truck again. Second time. So he crashed the Ford into a manure truck again, filling his car with manure. It's unclear what became of the Ford after 1955. Like, it's unclear what happened to the car afterwards, like after 1955. But it reappeared newly restored in 1985, where it was on display at the entrance to the Biff Tannen Museum, alongside a waxwork figure of Biff. Next is trivia. There's a ton of it. Are you kidding me? But let's do it. Anyway, so during the filming of the first two movies, so during the film of the first two movies, three different Ford Super Deluxes were used: a 1946 car, 1947, and 1948 model. The 46 was a black coupe with a roof cut off, so it looked like a convertible. This car was used the most and was also the one that got covered in manure. The other two cars, the 47 and 48, the 47 and 48 Fords, were used in either long shot or in close up shots. The 46 was kept by Universal Studios after the second movie was done and put on display in their backlot tour before being sold to a private collector. Through the course of the first movie, the car changes from a 46 to a 47 from a 46 to a 47 Ford. This difference is noted by the fact that the 47 Super Deluxe differed from the 46 model with the absence of the red accents on the grille with the absence of the red accents on the grille and parking lights below each of the front headlights. Another difference between the 46 and 47 is that the upholstery seating in the car changes. As shown in the second movie, when alternate 1985 Biff spoke of the manure incident from the first film, he claimed he had rolled the car in a drag race a few days in a drag race rolled the car in a drag race a few days earlier. Marty correctly guessed Biff had crashed his car into a manure truck, much to the surprise of Biff. Much to the surprise of Biff. When Biff demanded to know how he knew that, Marty lied that his father told him before he died. Also, unknown to Biff, Marty was responsible for his car being wrecked. In the second movie, when old Biff gives the almanac to his younger self, the sun visors on the convertible are gone, while in the rest of the film, the visors are still there. The car also had visors in the first movie. In the game, when Biff's restraining Marty, the player has the option to try and snap Biff out of the X11 initiative by telling him about the license plates belonging to his car. Biff then calls his car Sheila, as if it was the car's nickname. It's like calling a Camaro Bumblebee, for instance. However, the nickname Sheila was never used for the Super Deluxe in either the first or second movie. And that's pretty much it for the fourth. So if you guys like this video, like, subscribe, comment below what y'all think, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you later when we bring uploads. Alright, so yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Till then, stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you guys soon. Alright, take care folks, stay safe out there. I'll see you guys a little later. Peace.